Hello, Brian the Fanboy here, and today I am going to review Kagaku Sentai Dynaman. Now, this is the 7th Super Sentai series, and it originally aired in Japan back in 1983, and it consists of 51 episodes, plus a movie. Now, this series, well, the first episode starts when young people who were climbing a mountain. They were doing their thing, and then suddenly there was a volcanic eruption. And according to the narrator, there's been frequent volcanic eruptions happening all over Japan. Let's see. Shortly after, there were this teenage girl who was being attacked by these creatures. They are called Shibuhei, and they are foot soldiers, and they wear these green no these yes green olive drab costumes, and each of them has one tail. Now suddenly a man named Den Hakuda, he arrived so he can save the girl, and shortly after arrived this woman named Tachapino Ray, and they managed to save the girl. And then yeah, there were more people who were attacked, but oh yes, I forgot that also. The girl and the other people, they were being attacked by this creature called, oh yes, Kani Shinga, which means crab evolution. Now okay, then suddenly came more people were being attacked, but then came these three other people, three men. A man named Hoshikaru Ryu, another one named Nanku Kosoku, and then we have this man named, oh yes, Shima Yusuke, and those three joined up with Rei and Hakuda, and they managed to try to fighting off the enemies, and then in an area they the five people who were fighting, they ended up in the sea, and it looks like they were defeated. But I'll get more to that in a bit. Now, surely we meet the villains of the series. They are known. Oh no! Before that, first we arrive something called a this giant fortress that came out of the volcano ground, and see ground. Yeah, I forgot the name of the fortress, but anyway, then we meet the villains of the series, and they are known as the oh yes, the Yubijin Ichizuku Yashinga Tikuku, which means the Dale People Clan Empire. And they consist of this group of species called the according to subtitles I read, they refer to as salamander people. Now, oh, and I'm gonna say Yashinka for short as well. Now, the leader of Yashinka is his name is Teo Aton, and he has nine tails. Then we have oh yes, Gao Shogun, and he has seven tails. And then we meet the son of Teo Aton, named Mikido Oji, and he is the prince. And also the Shibuhei, they are the foot soldiers of Yashinka. And also Kanishinka, he is one of the he was one of the creatures that Kaoshoka makes during most of the series. Not the entire series. And well, it started with well, in this part of the series, they were well, the monsters are called, oh yes, Shinkayu, which means evolution beasts. And they are made is that Gao Shoka uses this device called Sumino soup, which is kind of machine that uses yes the genetics of different species, and it makes the process of evolutions of 1 million years only a few seconds, and then it speed up the process all the way into the future. You know, like what the species would be like if it evolved into like a high intelligence. Also, for the Shinka, well, their ranks are dependent on how many tails they have, and you know, the more tails, the higher the rank. Yes, and well, anyway, so other that, the five people who were introduced in the episode, well, they arrive at this place called the Adventure Center, and it's run by this man named, oh yes, Kyotaro Yumeno Hakase. And then shortly, well, I go to the clocks. It was time to close down, and well, the Adventure Center is a place where kids can hang out and check out the new adventures. Anyway, after the center's closing time, Yumeno he told the five people to enter this. Well, they enter this kind of like a chute and arrive at some kind of secret base. And Yumeno he was there, and well, this time his personality was a bit different now. And well, he told them about the trouble of that's being caused by Yashinka, and he shows uh, the five people that were invited to stop them, and yeah, to become yeah protectors of Earth. Anyway, Hakuda he became Dinoreto, and his costume is well like a white costume with red gloves, red boots, and over his costume is like a what looks like a red baseball jersey. Also, he has a red helmet with a black visor and a silver mouthpiece. Ryu he became Dainapuraku, and oh yes, his costume is white with black gloves, black boots, a what looks like a black baseball jersey over the costume, and a black helmet with a black visor and silver mouthpiece. Ishima, I mean Yuzuki, he became Dino Blue, and his costume is white with red gloves. I mean blue gloves, blue boots, red baseball jersey. I mean blue baseball jersey with over the costume, blue helmet with a black visor and a gray mouthpiece. Kosoku, he became Dino and oh yes, his costume is white with yellow gloves, yellow boots, a yellow baseball jersey over the costume, and a yellow helmet with a black visor and gray mouthpiece. And Rei, she became Daina Pinku, and her costume is white with yeah pink gloves, pink boots, a pink baseball jersey over the costume, big helmet with a black visor and silver mouthpiece, and each of the new heroes were given This device is called the Dyna bracelets, what they use in to henshin and to hero form. And together they are Kagaku Sentai Dynaman, which means Science Quadrant Dynaman. And then they went off to fight off the Shinka. Soon they arrive and met up with Kari Shinka and Shibuhei. And eventually they started to henshin and started to fight the enemy. Now, also, each member of Dynaman has their own special individual weapons. Now, for Dino Redo, he has the Dynaken, which means dinosaurs. Dino Baraku, he has these two black boomerangs called the Gurazu Katas. Dino Brew, his weapon he uses two discs called the Brew 3 Piece. And let's see, Dino Gero, he has the chains field called the Chain Crushers. And Ray, she has a fencing sword called the Rosa Saber. And the Dynaman, they use these weapons to fight the enemies. And then came the final attack, which was called the Super Dynamite. And where the they turn, I think, some kind of where the they jump and start to attack the enemy. I think it was more than wit, but I forgot. But anyway, after Kanichinka was beaten, well, it wasn't over yet because those other Chinkajus have this thing called the Big Bang process, which makes them gigantic. So it makes them into a Super Shinkaju. However, the Diamond were given something to help out with that. One of the things was given was this giant fortress called Daya Jupiter, which houses three separate giant mechas or giant vehicles. For Dino Redo, he pilots this this plane thing called the Dynamak. Blue and Baraku, they drive this car thing called the Dynamobiru. And then for Jiro and Pinku, they drive this vehicle called the Dynagyari. And when they combine or Katai, they become the it forms the Dino Robo, with the Mac being the head, the motor being the torso, and the Gyaro being the legs. And each time when I was seeing the combination process, well, with the Mac, I always keep saying, and now form the head, because I heard it from somewhere before, maybe from an episode of Robert Chicken, but yeah, that's a phrase I'm familiar with. Anyway, yes, the Dino Robo is being used to fight Ichinkaju, and then they call on the the Kaguruken, which means science source, and they do this thing called the Dino Jump, which makes the Dino Robo jump up, and then use a final attack called the Inazuma Yurogotosh, which means lightning, gravity, fall, and then use the attack on the Shikaju, and that was the end of the first battle. Now in the second episode, we learned a bit more about Yashinka, and what happened was that in ancient times, back when Earth was new, barely during prehistoric era, a meteorite landed on Earth, And well, it contained this kind of like some kind of species of reptiles. And as time went on, these reptiles evolved into the salamander people, and they believe that they are more superior than humans, and they believe that Earth should belong to them. And well, at first, the Yashinka tried to turn the humans into salamander people, but since that failed, they started to decided to destroy to kill off every human, so the world could belong to the salamander people. Uh, um, then we have this movie, which well, I guess in a way it takes place after episode 4, but before episode 5, and mostly about this guy who was supposed to sell this kind of weapon to Yashinka for money. However, eventually during that fight with Yashinka, well, in that movie, he the event realized that he should well, he decided to now on use to make stuff for the benefit of humanity instead of making stuff that will hurt people. Now, moving on to episode 8, it will we meet another member of Yashinka, a woman, and her name is Chimera Ojo. She is the daughter of Theo Aden's sister, which makes her Theo Aden's niece and Mekido's cousin. Oh, I forgot to mention in the first episode of Dynaman, well, when Dino Reto was fighting Mekido, he cut off one of Mekido's tails, so now he has four tails. Now, back to Chimera. Yes, and well, like Mekido, she also have four tails. Oh, also, forgot to mention for the Salamander people. Well, each one has as many tails as they are born with. However, Teo Adams has a goal of getting a 10th tail because, well, it was said that anyone who gains a 10th tail will receive ultimate power. Let's see. The thing with oh yeah, okay. Many episodes later, we oh yes, now I remember. God Shogun, he finally well, actually there was one last well, so many Asian kaijus have been defeated during that time. However, there was one particular Shinkaiju that God Shogun was saving for, in case there was and I gave, and it was called Mamoshinka, and well, as Mikido, he tried to prove himself to his father by releasing the Mama Shinka under the world, and see. However, and Thursday was all a trick by Teo Aden. You see, in order to fool the enemy, they need to fool. Well, he needed to fool allies, and well, yes, they fought off. But that episode ended with Dynaman destroying the Mama Shinka, and well, that was the final Shinkaiju that was made by Kao Shogun. But it wasn't the final monster because you see, Kao Shogun he found found a new kind of monster to create called Mega Shinka, which he combines the genetics of a species with technology, and unlike the Chinkaiju, the can be well, they can withstand the super dynamite. It then eventually the is when the Dynaman used the super dynamite on the first Mega Shinka, it didn't work. But eventually they find a way to defeat them, and while still figured out a new super dynamite. Eventually they finally figure it out, and well, what they do is they jump, call out their colors in English, and they turn into a comet and attack the Shiga, and that's how they uh, defeat the Mega Shinka in normal size for the rest of the series. And as for the what happens afterwards, each time, well, God Shogun created this thing called the Big Bang Beam, which is used to make the defeated normal size Mega Shinka go gigantic. And the tournament used the third rope to defeat each one. Now, surely we well, what happened was that a new villainess appeared, a woman named well Zenobia Shogun. You see, she was in prison and this place called the Millennium Cave, and the reason was for that was because years before she tried to overthrow Deo Aden, so she herself could become ruler of Yashinka. But since that failed, she was imprisoned in the Miller Cave as punishment. Of course, she suddenly found a way to escape and told Deo Aden that she is willing to serve him. And some of the members were not too sure about her joining because they didn't have that much confidence in her, and they weren't sure if she was to be trusted. No, a few episodes after, because of Mikido's many failures, Zenobia suggested to Estonia played a part in it, and she well Theo Aden he sent his Mikido, his own son, to be imprisoned in the Millennium Cave, and Mikido he vowed to make those who betrayed him pay. And then few episodes afterwards, well, Mikido has escaped, but and as much as you think they hadn't tried to find him, I mean, Ishinka did, he wasn't to be found. And then shortly we meet a new character, a warrior who calls himself Dark Kunaido. And well, both Dynaman and Yashinka weren't sure whose side he was on. Oh, and there was an episode involving the the Teoken, which means Emperor Sword. And it can only be held by Findio Aden, but also if a human were to hold it, then that person cannot let go unless the person uses to cut human blood. And I think it was Yusuke who grabbed the sword, and it made him fight. Oh yes, Hakuta. I mean Hokuda, and well, he did use it on him, but however, it was just kind of like a cut. So yeah, it has to draw blood from a human, but there was nothing that says that he has to kill him for it. So kind of just a flesh wound, and Shimon was free from the cursed sword. Now surely Gosho can claim that he found something that could help Theo and grow a 10th tail. Of course, there were challenges for them on the way because, well, Dark Knight, though, throughout most of his experience, it looked like he was taking, one side over the other. Like, it was like he was constantly switching sides, but it looks more like he was trying to make both Dynaman and Yashinka destroy each other. Now, gosh, okay. Oh, I forgot to mention, before that stuff happened, well, Zenobia, she eventually found she attacked the Adventure Center thinking that that's where the secret headquarters of Dynaman is. But maybe she didn't find the secret base. However, because of the attack that Zenobia caused, well, Yumino Hakase, he had to close down the Adventure Center. The children were all sad that because of the closing. However, he promised that he'll open it up again, and it'll be much better than it was before. Back to the whole Death Tale thing. Well, there was thing called retro genes, and eventually Yashinka got a hold of them and tried to use them on humans to take out. However, instead it causes humans to receive, strange abnormalities. And then the Dynaman, well, they try to search for, Yumeno. However, they couldn't find him. And eventually they learned that Yumeno, his real name was Tujame Hakase. And that, well, yeah, let's see. Well, he played a part, and the red genes being made in the first place. And well, Nango couldn't. He wasn't sure he could trust that doctor anymore. However, he was reminded that Yumena was the one who cured him, and then the Dynaman went off to find somebody he well was close to somebody Yumena knew in the past, and well oh yeah, well it's revealed that what happened was that years ago, years before, well, Yumena, he had a girlfriend, and eventually the Yashinga came in, they killed her, and because of what happened, well, Yumena, he regretted what he made, so he changed his name and vowed to make inventions to help people from now on. Now, eventually, Zenobia, she managed to capture Jumeno, and she hypnotized him into making the red genes so she can grow a damn tail. Oh, another thing that Dr. Knight, though, he convinced, he told Zenobia that that Adam was trying to get the radio genes all for himself, and well, Shinobi decided to side with Dagunaido, and as the machine was made for Zenobia, she finally grew. Wait, oh no! Before that happened, the Dynaman came in. Well, yes, however, they were put inside the Millennium Cave. Of course, yeah, they had hard grabbing now. However, Yumeno, once he was free from Zenobia's control, he managed to find a way for them to escape. And then finally, oh yes, the Shinka met up with Zenobia and Darkunaido. And then that Dynaman eventually appeared. And then, well, oh no, wait, before that happened, yes, Zenobia was in a machine and she finally grew her 10th tail. And then once she met up with Yashinka, as well as Dynaman, well, she was getting ready to attack. However, Taku Naido told everybody to watch what's going on, and well, Zenobia, even though she grew a 10th tail, she started to age rapidly, and then turned into a skeleton and died. And Takunaido, he was told that there's a scripture said that any salamander person who grows a 10th tail will die. And then Hakuda, then realized who he who really is, and then cut off the mask and revealed that it was Megiddo all along. And then he told Theo Aden that the number of tails doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when he was Spanish, Zenobia was ordered to cut off all of his tails, and she did. So anyway, back to the revelation of Takunada and Megiddo. Well, yes, he told Theo Aden that the number of tails doesn't make a person stronger. It's more to hard work and stuff. And after Theo Aden realized that he was wrong about what makes a person powerful. Well, while the Dynaman were out fighting Megiddo, well, he told oh yeah, I forgot, during a battle between Dynaman and Theo Aden, they started to fight, and or maybe it was Zenobia, I don't know, but anyway, Theo Aden, was badly hurt, and then before he died, he told Chimera to tell Megiddo to have the Teoken, and also to help him rule the Yashinga Empire. And then Theo Aden fell down and exploded. And that was the end of Theo Aden. And then, while Megiddo was fighting the Dynaman, Chimera arrived, and she told Megiddo what Theo Aden told her, that Megiddo should have the sword and that she should fight by his side. And so both Megiddo and Chimera became the new main rulers of Yashinga. And the Dynaman started to fight, and well, it was getting hard, and because Megiddo was trying to get hurt, was getting hurt, so they retreated and was about to leave and the Flying Fortress. However, the Dynaman, they used a Dynorobo to, or was it the TIE Jupiter? But somehow, either one, it was used to attack the flying fortress, and then it crashed, and every member of Yoshinka that was inside it died. And that was the end of Yoshinka. And afterwards, the Dynaman reunited with the children who they hung out with at the Adventure Center. And, well, the Dynaman were off to live normal lives and also restored the Adventure Center, created new dreams for uh, new generations. And that was the end of Kagaku Sentai Dynaman. Now, what do you think about this series? I think it was alright. I mean, there was some stuff I did like. Now, as for the. Oh, and another interesting thing about this series is that Dynaman was the first Super Sentai series to be dubbed in English for an American audience. It aired as something part of something called Friday. See, yeah, Friday Night Flight or something like that. Of course, it was a parody dub, and well, from what I heard, is that some of the things that were said in the dub were things that children shouldn't listen to, and also it aired on Nickelodeon as part of their special delivery lineup. So it'd be strange, with a show where the dub has certain things being said, would air on a network that's intended for children. Although it is the same channel that brought us Ren and Stimpy, but of course, with the way Nickelodeon is heading toward these days, along with other networks that has content for children all day long. Well, anyway, as whether children should watch, the original Japanese versions with subtitles, well, it's more often up to the parents' thing. So, if you are a parent and you like to, well, it's best you watch this series yourself and talk about the Japanese version, along, with the subtitles, and then afterward you can decide whether or not to let your children watch or not. So yes, I think that's all I can say about Dynaman in this video. And also, please subscribe to this channel because it will help me a lot. And also, please share this video on social media like Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. So that's it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.